I feel like I stand up here all the time and I tell you all the same story. I think I get sick and tired of hearing my own voice, so I'm sure you guys get sick and tired of hearing it. But I honestly haven't prepared anything. All right, let me just try to compose myself. Oh, look at my office, wow. All right, let me just try to say a few things. I guess if I put some context around it and composure around it, it was about 4 or 5 weeks ago where we had a joint party at our place, and I know that everyone was obviously invited. Not everyone obviously could make it, and it certainly wasn't compulsory. So I'll probably just try to take some of the key messages of what I talked about at our party a few weeks ago and reiterate them here. So apologies for those of you that were there and perhaps get bored of hearing my voice. What is 50 years? 50 years is it's a milestone. I mean, most of you know me. This guy Paul doesn't know me, but you get to know me pretty quickly. Again, for all the vivacious and the loudness and the confidence and what have you, I can promise you that you're looking and you're talking to and you're listening to someone who's very complex and who's very conflicted internally. You may not see that, but I can promise you that's the reality. But that doesn't necessarily make me different to any one of you. Each of us have our own trials and tribulations, and I guess for me, many of you have heard over my journey, I talk about context and composure, and those are the two, if you like, the two words that I continue to draw back on, whatever the challenge or whatever the celebration may be, because it's an important reference point or anchor point for us to sort of try reconcile events that happen during our life. It's very important to celebrate the milestones, and I guess I'd like to think that I'm somewhat humble, and I genuinely don't like celebrating these big things, but experience teaches me that I do need to start to accept not just celebrating the milestones, but taking the moments to enjoy some of the other things that happen along our journey. Life is not necessarily just a destination; it's the journey, and many of us have heard those sort of things. So it's those references that I continually draw upon. And I guess I'm a positive person by nature. I'm wired that way. I look at the glass half full. And I guess if others can sort of take that lesson from me, then at least you've learned something along the journey. I did learn from a very wise person not so recently, because I tend to listen to many stories and I take what I can from it. But there's two things that resonate very much with me in recent time, and that is that before there's a rainbow, there has to be some rain. And you can read into that, and it tells you the same thing. It has to rain before the rainbow. So there's always going to be some darkness, and eventually there'll be some light. That's one of the things. And the other thing is to sort of look into the negative spaces. Whenever you see a picture, you see what's directly in front of you, but it's in between those spaces that they call the negative space, and it's trying to interpret that and making the most of those opportunities. So, if nothing else, if you can take those two lessons out of my spiel today, then I've done a great thing. But other than that, I thoroughly enjoy what I do. I'm passionate about life. I'm passionate about all of you. We're in an industry where we're continually fighting battles. Fundamentally, I guess we believe in supporting the underdog, and that's what we do. And it's not the most financially rewarding industry that we're in, but I think we're all in it because we love it, and it does afford us opportunities to travel and see the world, and in doing so, hopefully enrich the lives of others. That to me is what we're all here for. So thank you, each and every one of you, because in your own way, you certainly help build my soul. You nourish my soul, as I say every year at the conference. Each of you individually brings something unique to me, and I wouldn't do it any differently. And as one of my favorite quotes goes from Teddy Roosevelt, where he talks about being in the arena. There's blood, sweat, and tears that's marring my face, and you've got to be in the arena to enjoy the moment, and that's what we do day in, day out. We fight, we front up. And it's a pleasure to do it with all of you alongside me. So thank you very much. Thanks to all the the warmth, the hospitality, the messages, the hugs, the kisses, and everything else. Thanks, guys, and let's hope the next 50 years are as enjoyable as the first 50 years. Thank you very much all. Can I go home now? Thank you very much.